Okay, so now it's just a matter of finishing this off like a normal piece of obsidian. Except that I'm using steel, of course. Alright, so let's see. Still got enough width to make one that looks just like this, or a little bit longer. Okay, now let's see, what should I do? First the base or the blade? I don't know how these were actually done, what procedure that they used. I looked at some cross sections last night in the book on the Elko eared. Some of them are very thin, some of them are medium thinness, but I didn't see any really thick ones, so hopefully I can make this thin enough on the video without breaking it. I think I'm going to do the stem and base first, since the barbs really aren't that delicate on these, so I don't think I'll risk snapping them off. I guess I'll just do the notches part way and then finish the blade and then come back and finish the notches. That way the barbs aren't vulnerable. I don't know if I should do this with indirect percussion or pressure. I tend to snap more points doing a lot of pressure work than I do with percussion work. Let's see. It feels like I'm losing too much off the base. Let's see. Having to set up platforms are a little bit stronger than pressure flake platforms, and I'm losing a lot of length. platform angles have to be just right because it's very slippery. The glass or the obsidian is very slippery, so it's hard to get contact with the flaker. So they got to be just right. The surface of the platform can be smooth as long as the flaker doesn't, move around a lot during the strike. So these flakes are just in preparation for the notching. We could probably take another few thinning flakes. Again, I got to be very careful on the platform. I'm kind of backing off on the force. I don't want to apply too much. That's why you see me striking more than once. It's not ideal to strike more than once. It's just I don't want to snap everything. I'm getting a lot of I don't know, non-smooth flake scars. A lot of, it's not rippling, it's kind of chattering. These are smooth down here, but then I get up here and they start to chatter. That's because of the mass of the point is very small up here, so the tip moves around a lot, moves around this way, so the contact with the platform isn't consistent. That's why I think I'm getting a lot of those steps and chatter, as opposed to these nice smooth flakes down here. I wanted to get some of these smooth ones up near the tip, but it gets increasingly difficult to do that as the tip gets thinner. Yeah. And it might also be because I hit it several times already. Yes, and that's better. Those are the kind of smooth flakes I want near the tip, if I can get them. Okay, much better. Okay, so it looks a little better. And the way I'm adjusting my technique is I'm preparing the edge with the tool itself instead of using the abrader at random. I'm just preparing each little platform separately. Okay, I'll stop messing with the edge there. Okay. Now I think I know how these notches go on the Elko. The width of the ears is much less than the width of the barbs. And some of the bases, or some of the stems are kind of straight, some of them are flared. Some of them have slightly flared ears. There's a lot of variation, so I'm not too worried about it. Steel really powers through the glass like it was hard candy or something. I have to worry about that. The the barbs being blown off. Yeah. Now, if these notches were narrow, I probably couldn't be making them this easily. But since I got a lot of room at the bottom of that notch, if I stall it a little bit, I'll just move over to the left or right and then keep going. I can't remember if the stem flares out that much or not. Let's see. I can't remember. I'm going to take them back a little bit. I think it said sometimes the corner, the edge, the tips of the ears are ground slightly. And then it'll have the basal notch. I'm going to try to drive a flake or two deep into that stem. Let's see. I can't adjust the focus with my glove on. So I just sent a couple of flakes up into the stem to thin it down. And kind of get better symmetry on it. I think that's good. Maybe one or two on the other side. Excuse me while I remove a little flake. It's already 21 minutes. The flake's still in there, but I'm going to let it go for now. Okay, so I'll just clean up the edges and it'll be good. See if I can get rid of that powdery. See, that flake is right where I push pressure on the flakers. Oh well. So I'm going to try to get rid of the powdery white edges on here. It's already 23 minutes. Yeah, that's right where I apply pressure on the tool. Okay. I'm going to try to finish this up with the 6 minutes I've got remaining. There's a little step fracture up here that is annoying me, so I'm going to try to flake it off. It's barely noticeable, I know, but I just don't like step fractures near the tips because I hardly ever see step fractures near the tip of any of these artifacts. I would say 99% of the artifacts have no step fractures near the tip. They usually have a bunch of step fractures in other places, but it never seems to be near the tip. I think some of these Elko points have little serrations on them, but I'm not going to put any on this one. Not any noticeably large ones anyway. The edge work might look slightly serrated. I'm not too worried about the straightness of the edge. I just want to get rid of any thick spots or any white powdery areas. You can see how that's slipping. The tool is slipping on the edge of that obsidian. I think I might need a heavier tool. As it gets toward the barbs, it's a thicker area, so I'm just going to do the other side here. Whoops. Then I'll switch to the larger flat tool as I get closer to the barbs. The hard thing about steel is that these flakes don't travel very far. Okay, it's already 30 minutes, so I think I'll call it good. I could do a little bit better job on the edges, but I'm running out of time. Okay.